Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Eva Unilov, and if you don't know me, I go by they, them pronouns. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. You might have seen me at TwitchCon 2019. This was my first TwitchCon, and I was really excited to be able to make it there. I am in Indiana. That's where I live. And in Indiana, we don't have a ton of trans inclusivity, being a little conservative. So for me, it was really exciting to go to TwitchCon for my first time and be surrounded by friends who I know are trans inclusive and care deeply about me. Something I realized while we are there is that we still have a little ways to go. So let's have a chat about that, because it's quite a small thing we're going to be chatting about, but I would love to take one step forward together with you all today. One thing I found out while I was there is that apparently everyone around me who is trans inclusive isn't just studying everything related to pronouns. I'm shook. I shouldn't be. Anyhow, so what I noticed is a lot of people messed up my pronouns. I kind of expected that. It happens to the best of us. Heck, I have even misgendered myself on stream, and I don't really think it can get more awkward than that. I really don't think it can. So I am not really surprised by that, but I was surprised by just how much it happened, and it was happening to essentially everyone. And it was hard because I'm not really equipped to correct anyone. I don't frequently correct people on this, so I didn't know what to do. And I was like, well, I guess they'll work on it. I hope they'll work on it. And then I started getting messages being like, no one knows your pronouns. Everyone's calling you she, her, and chats are getting confused because my stream friends were streaming and all their chats are just seeing me being repetitively misgendered. It was kind of exhausting, but I totally understand. I totally understand misgendering me and that struggle to make the change. So, I was definitely having my own struggles, and how do I correct people on this in a way that isn't rude, but at the same time, I did notice something that was making it a little more difficult. When I did step up to correct people, there was a lot of over apologizing. This is kind of where I realized, oh, people haven't heard how you handle pronouns when you misgender someone. So if you're not familiar, the best thing that I have heard so far is that if you mess up someone's pronouns, just stop, correct yourself, and move on. Don't over apologize. And so part of this is because you really don't want to make this huge deal out of it, right? You don't want to make a huge deal, draw everyone's attention, and then also it kind of embarrasses me when that's happening because I feel bad for correcting you. Suddenly you're over apologizing to me. You're so sorry. You'll get it at some point. And I'm like, I know, and I understand that you're probably a little embarrassed, but this whole scene is embarrassing for me, and I end up feeling really guilty for correcting you, which doesn't help me correct you and doesn't really help the whole situation in general. But you don't really need to do that either. And then just move on, correct the pronouns, and continue your day or your conversation or whatever the case may be. After that initial time, I really suggest just noting it, correcting it, and moving on, not making a big deal. Another thing that I noticed that was kind of a little overwhelming, I'd say, is that people kept telling me, Eva, you're just so cute. You're just so cute. I keep misgendering you because you're cute. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I think this is a compliment, but I'm getting misgendered because I'm cute? Does this mean I'm getting misgendered because I'm cute, which people associate with feminine, and therefore they're using she, her pronouns because I look too feminine? And I know that a lot of people don't realize this about me, but part of my coping with gender dysphoria, specifically my breasts, is by dressing in a way that makes them fit my style, I suppose. And whenever I try to dress androgynously, I get a lot more gender dysphoria. And so that's why I dress more feminine when I'm not wearing my binder. And I can't wear my binder all the time because that's a health risk. And it also just hurts a lot. So I don't want to do it. And so it ends up feeling like because I'm using my coping mechanism, which is kind of uncomfortable for me for this exact reason, because I'm worried that it's going to invalidate me or people are going to like just see me not as my own gender. It makes me really uncomfortable to do this. And then people saying that on top of it, well, I think they intend it as a compliment. And I think that they mean it as a way to like explain why this is happening. It just ends up kind of blaming me or feeling like it's blaming me for being misgendered. And it makes me feel really bad about my coping mechanism while I'm working on getting my breast reduction. So I don't really recommend it. I want to be really clear out there. I know that I mentioned I feel a little bit rude or I worry about being rude, correcting people on my pronouns. And I want to be very clear to my NB pals and other trans friends out there that you're not being rude correcting other people on your pronouns. I'm really proud of you for being able to do that. I know it's something I struggle with a lot. I have a lot of internalized sexism and internalized transphobia that I'm really working on. And there is that stereotype of trans people being really intense about their pronouns. This is a common concept aimed at most minorities that invalidates people's anger. You know, we have the angry woman feminist or the angry black man or the angry black woman. I should clarify, the angry dangerous black man, the angry black woman, and then the angry trans person who freaks out about their pronouns. And unfortunately, that does affect me quite a bit. And I'm trying to work on it. But I think for now, I am trying to figure out a way that I can easily correct people on my pronouns and just give them little reminders. So, anyone out there, I would love to hear in the comments, what do you do to correct people on your pronouns, or what have you seen be effective? What do you think would be effective, and would you be comfortable seeing? I'd love to know down in the comments, and I hope to catch you in the next video.